All right, folks. All right. Woo, I don't know. I had to retreat over here to this one. I am terribly sorry. Do I got a sound check? Please give me a sound check, no echo. I'm going to wait for a little bit, let people get on here. I truly apologize. I am not sure what happened, but things happen and you go with the flow, right? You go with the flow. And we're preppers, and so we don't give up. We keep going. Um, there's some kind of audio issue, and obviously it's doing a double take, and I'm not sure why or what occurred, but well, I just keep on going. Yep, that's right. Glad to see everyone tonight. I'm keeping this as a backup, and that's why until I can get everything out. Good evening. She's Wildflower Brandy F. Nacelle Channel Skippington. Good evening, everybody. I want to give people a chance because they're probably like, oh gosh, we had like 30, 40 people right away. And then I'm not sure why we're getting double sound on there. I'm on StreamYard, so I know this program upside down. Y'all know that. But tonight I wanted to talk about some serious, serious issues that are going on. And we all have seen that, it's really interesting to me that the IRS and right? And they're buying things like why are they buying all this up? Now this has been going on for about 10 years, right? But the interesting thing to me is why in the world it do they need the federal government to become weaponized? The IRS is buying 40 caliber submachine guns. The weaponization and militarization of the federal government continues unabated as Congress and the states, they're just sitting back. They're not doing nothing, nothing at all. And, that is very concerning to me. As we all see all these things occurring, it's like, wow, why, what's really going on here? Me and Dragonflies got into a deep conversation about this today. And I was like, why do they need so much? And I'm sure we all have different opinions about this. But what concerns me, and Dragonfly's made a really good point, right? What happens when they knock at our door and they got submachine guns? This is something that we haven't really talked about. I've looked at it, and I'm sure some of you others have. Zombie preppers up in the house. Is that right? Zombie. Nice to see everybody. Bougie. Everybody's rolling in now. I truly apologize again for the audio issues. We'll get it. I'll get it figured out. I always do. Preppers don't give up. We don't give up. But as we see all these things occurring, and I started looking at these different articles, and I was like, why isn't the media? Oh, well, yeah, of course, they're not going to talk about this, are they? They are not going to talk about this in any way, shape, or form. And but we know that they are not just arming the IRS along with about every other federal agency for no reason. There has to be some good reasons behind this. And the other thing is they're making agencies militarized with military grade weapons not available to American citizens. And that's concerning to me. The IRS has been arming up for at least 10 years. And I went back, and at the end of 2017, the IRS had 4,487 firearms and over 5 million rounds of ammunition. Now, according to Forbes, there is also this, we've been hearing about it, this tougher IRS thing coming out. But why in the hell do they need that? We also have the Inflation Reduction Act, which passed the Senate, raising taxes, and it'll give the IRS billions to go into what the Wall Street Journal called the beast mode. Now, that alone is very, very concerning. There is videos out. There's a guy that lives over in Lee Summit, Missouri. He runs the God Family and Guns YouTube channel. He explains like in depth why this is happening and what's occurring. And I thought it was very, very interesting. But now they're gobbling up another $700,000 in ammo as of last year. And then there's also bills coming into play that they're asking the representative from Florida, Matt Gaddis, and Jeff Duncan from South Carolina. They introduced a bill to disarm the IRS Act. Has it been passed? No. And the IRS is not the only one. So let's take a little deeper look at this. Hold your questions for right now. If you have questions from this point forward, put them in all capitals if they're directed to me, especially during a news broadcast, and I will try to address them. But the U.S. Department of Agriculture has purchased hundreds of 40 caliber submachine guns, presumably for making raids on independent food producers. But they have like this special, I would have to say, hatred toward the Amish. Toward the Amish. Are the Amish going to be under attack? I mean, really? I apologize, Dreaded Seeker. I apologize. But are the Amish the next ones on the list? And we have to think about this as the Amish have basically disassociated themselves with, with the general public, with everything. They basically do their own thing, right? So, are they going to attack the Amish? Have they attacked the Amish? Well, there's cases all over the country of them doing certain things, shutting down their production, shutting down their plants, shutting down their farms. So, we have this militarization of federal agencies that really should not in any way be having weaponry like this. And it's a big concern to me because if it comes to our front door, how are we as Americans going to stand up against that? And not only is it submachine guns, it's Hummers, it's tanks, it's all this different weaponry. And I don't touch on this subject very often. I kind of stay away from the Second Amendment stuff because it's really it's one of those things on YouTube where they just don't like us talking about certain stuff, right? And I agree with you, Naked and Afraid. No one is safe. Remember, folks, if yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. We've seen what happened over there. And yes, but not only that, Dreaded Seeker, not only are the train derailments close to the Amish, right? They're also close to our major waterways. Our major waterways. So me and my brother is an environmental specialist. He has been for 20, 30 years. We talked about this in depth. If the groundwater gets contaminated with chemicals that are the ones that are just they won't go away for years and years and years. The PFAs, I believe, is what they're called. If that happens, which I believe that it already has, we won't know for 5 or 10 or 15 years, like what happened in Flint, Michigan, right? So you have something like that happen, and it goes into our waterways and it contaminates our groundwater. See, a lot of people think that if they have wells, they're safe. Are they safe? If a waterway is contaminated, then we have another issue with it could take decades and decades to get rid of that contamination. We had one train derailment, as you brought that up. We have one train derailment that happened like directly on a bridge that went into the river. And then we have also all of these plants catching on fire that are letting off so many contaminants into the air that we're breathing. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I think that'll be the first one. I think that'll be the first one, Zombie, is over in Maui. And things are coming out on a daily basis about the situation in Maui. But I went to Maui and I was very saddened by what happened there. Maui is gorgeous. Gorgeous place. And it's one of those things that as we see these things roll out, they can call us conspiracy nuts, but are we? Are we really conspiracy nuts? I don't believe so. Fisherman 12, nice to see you, Skippington, Tomcat, Koala, everybody. Thank you for rolling in. Thanks for continuing. Yes, I apologize for the audio issues. I really truly do. But I just keep watching the things that are happening around us. And I want to say this, the USDA rated a farm called the Fisher Family Farm in Farmingville, Virginia. They seized their livestock and meat processing facility as the state condemned and seized their property. They are Amish. The Small Business Administration has also made bulk purchases of guns and ammo. Health and Human Services has done the same. Is the federal government, honestly, folks, preparing for all out war against Americans who have pushed back against the media, against the approved messages on pandemics, our involvement of foreign wars and other globalist policies? See, that's my question. There's this sense that's been coming over me like, how much time do we have left to get prepared? Because all of these things are coming out. And the more that comes out, there's a big goal going forward, and that is to criminalize all speech that contradicts the messaging coming out from the government and its corporate partners and the globalists. So, when we start thinking about all these things, I believe they are too. And, how does a population, um, there's way, way more of us than there is of them, for one, but, but we can't even agree on things on YouTube. We can't even get along as a community on YouTube. And I've talked about this before. What is going to happen when it comes to our front door? What is going to happen when somebody says, well, we're here to confiscate your guns? And I say, well, I don't have any guns, but Zombie does. People are going to use people to get out of situations. And I want you all to think about what I'm saying here. They're going to use people to get out of situations. And, that is a huge, huge thing when we think about that situation. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, that's going off the chart. That's going off the chart. And Zombie, I mean, think about it, brother. Your neighbors, it's going to be like during World War II. Everybody's going to be trying to save their own ass, and they're going to be telling on their neighbors to keep that from happening to them and their family. If they think that they can get away with not saying anything, that's exactly what will happen. People will not they'll say anything because they'll not want to give up themselves. Now, I want you to see this. I had prepared it on the other channel, on the other platform, but I do have it right here. I want you to think about what I'm about to show here. Very interesting. A child predator identified from inside the FBI. This guy was a contractor. He was caught with child pornography and has been charged with other sex crimes. So it is showing, he is being prosecuted. We also have some people from my birthday, January 6th, that got prosecuted today, and not a good thing. We also have our great, wonderful people up there in Chicago suing auto manufacturers, literally suing them, the mayor, because of the actions of criminals. So they said that they don't have a crime problem, they have a Kia problem in the city of Chicago, according to Mayor Johnson. Are you all kidding me? Are you really kidding me? We have a Kia problem. Be careful of the Kias, folks. The Kias are a dangerous high speed automobile. I mean, like, come on. I can't make this stuff up, y'all. This is really in the news. This is really absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, as we go on, we're going to watch a little video clip here shortly of, yeah, that's what I was saying. She's a wildflower. I was like, my goodness gracious sakes almighty. Like, where, tell me where, please, somebody tell me where is the real Slim Shady. Oh gosh, dang it. I mean, this stuff that is coming out in these articles is unbelievable. But let's blame everything, folks, on climate change. It's all climate change, but now it's the Kias too. Let's make sure that we know that Kias are a very dangerous, dangerous car. I just wanted to make sure that you all are aware of that situation. For some reason, the rest of the video is not playing. I'm having so many problems today. You just can't give up. Okay, hold on. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it going. There we go. There's the next page. Flip it. So also a LA city official gets 42 months in jail, and he's just the latest demo to be busted. Busted. You're busted. Now, I want to bring this up in a safety aspect tonight, folks. So this woman thought she was getting in the car with a Uber driver, and the Uber driver was actually going to kidnap her. So I want you all to think about that. Like that's major. Like, be alert and be aware. If you're using these types of services, make sure that you're paying attention to what kind of car, what kind, what the person. It actually shows what the person looks like if you use Uber or any of these services. Ladies, like seriously, be alert. If it wasn't for this lady slipping a note to a customer, she would have got kidnapped by this fictitious perpetrator that was pretending he was an Uber driver, which is something. Thank you, Sparkle On, for following us around. I don't know what's wrong with the audio, but we'll get it. Um, I think that, we really have to have our head on a swivel right now. We really have to be alert of what's going on because so many things are just so unsettling. And again, if you have a question directed at me during the news broadcast, please, from this point forward, or any broadcast, if it's really directed to me, please put it in all capitals. It makes it easier. We used to not have it that way. Now, this woman was quick on her feet, and it happened out there. We got Georgie and we got Copycat out there in Arizona. So y'all need to be heads on a swivel, no matter where you live. We're going to get into the crime report a little bit tonight as well. But I want to say that, fake Uber driver, and also be very, very alert of situational awareness. Be alert of what's happening and what's going on, folks, because as we all know, right? There's another one. The Vernon Parish wildfire was arson, and they're talking about it that it was an arson situation. So, that it's really interesting to me down there in Louisiana that and all over the country, all these wildfires that are popping up, and most of them have been led. And who would be committing arson nonstop in the United States to cause damage and issue here? Maybe, possibly, right? Possibly because we have a situation where we had a lot of illegals coming across the border, and maybe that has a lot to do with it. Now, I would like to bring this up just so you all can like maybe have that bad feeling in your mouth. I I really want you to pay attention here for a minute. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh gosh, this is going to make y'all so happy. Let's watch it just for a minute here. For 1 minute, I want you all to watch the top left corner. This is an actual US debt clock. And if you watch it over there, boy, it is ticking. It's ticking quick and fast. And that's something there. Watch it for 1 minute and let's count how many hundreds of thousands of dollars is the US going into debt for. That's right. Oh, we're sending more money to Ukraine. We're sending more money to Ukraine. Why are all the illegals mainly young men? Well, I'll tell you why, because they're about ready to come in and kick some ass here. That's why. I mean, what else is left to talk about? Look at that. Oh, are you all happy? We're about to go to 32,825,000,000 in debt. How long will it take us? 3 or 4 minutes? Oh, Lord, help us. It is very disturbing when you watch this clock. Good evening, Carol, Josh. Would anybody here go to a country that's about to go to war? Well, of course they would if they were coming to fight, if they were coming as the Trojan horse within the borders. I mean, think about it. Oh, there we go. Boom, that clock is just ticking. Man, does that make y'all happy? Is that exciting to anybody? That is a dang shame. That is really, really a dang shame. Yeah, the printer is working overtime. There's no checks and balances. So, gosh, if I could just write a check for like 100,000, just write it out and know that no matter what I wrote on there, it would just be a happy day here on the homestead. I'd put a well in. I would get the room expansion, and I wouldn't. Oh, what? Oh, I would. Well, no, not if I was in the government. I wouldn't go to jail. I would just have 100 grand. I now, you know, is there any printers out there? Do we have any printers? Anybody have a good printer? I mean, we'll just print that stuff off. It's just paper. Oh, yes. Yes. Sad. Why? Why? Because they're gonna push Barb, you can come on over here. We'll just do that together. We'll just have a copy party. Yes. Do we have a map of what cities are 15? I'm not, please speak in a full sentence. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you. 33 trillion, probably. Okay. Now, I do have a video to show as well tonight. Thanks again, folks, for following me to the end of the YouTube matrix to try to get the live to go up. It's something I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it's the first time I've never known what I was doing. But anyway, here we go. Let's watch this video together. I want you to pay close attention here at the beginning because we are a prepping channel, right? The smart cities. Yes, I can pull up. We did that special on smart cities. I wonder if I still have it. It was on Off the Wall Prepper before the channel was taken down. I'll see. I want to say this about this video because we are a preparedness channel. Y'all, if you see have a tornado in your area, don't continue along the road. Pull over, take shelter, and take it serious. I mean, take it serious while it's happening. This was a small tornado there in South Carolina, and I want you to pay close attention to the upper right-hand part of the screen. Okay. Hey, Lisa CC, welcome back to the chat. Skipping 10, Zombie Prepper, Wise Owl 1111, nice to see you. Candy Dudette Watson's up in the house. Okay, watch this, folks. Now pay attention to the middle right of the screen. Then we're going to travel out to California. Oh, Lord help us. I think we are at the point of a world. Okay, watch there. Watch. Oh, boom. Did you all see that? Oh, my goodness gracious.
This is spraying. Oh, I got over 40.
There you go. There's Cali.
How did they even get that?
Yeah, hey.
Man, they're off the charts.
I heard a new term on TikTok today that made me
All
stop
right,
in my tracks.
listen.
We are living in the silent depression.
This guy believes we are not just living in worse than the Great Depression, we're living in the silent depression. The average annual income in 1930 for an American individual was a little over $4,800. Sounds like nothing, but if you adjust that for inflation, a little over $4,800 a year in 1930 is equivalent to almost $85,000 annually for the average salary for one person. Right now, the average annual salary is $56,000 a year. We currently are making less than the height of the Great Depression. In 1930, gas was on average 10 cents a gallon. That would be about $1.73. In case you haven't filled up your car lately, average cost of a gallon of gas is $3.55. To buy a new car in 1930 would have been about $860. It's worth about 15 grand. The average cost of a new car today is $48,000. And of course, the most coveted aspect of the American dream, being able to buy a house in 1930, cost about $3,900, less than $70,000. I spend way too much time on Zillow, so maybe this isn't surprising to me, but the average price of a home in America today is $416,000. How could we be living through worst cost of living and wages than 1930? And no politician, no media outlet, no one is talking about it.
That's Bidenomics. It's about growing an economy by strengthening.
We don't want to hear you, Joe. We don't want to hear you. Everybody give a round of applause for the best president ever. The best president ever to ruin the USA in one quick term. That's where we're at. Yes, you can go push him over the edge, or I'll roll him to the nursing home because, geez, Louise. Uh, yeah, it is something. And like somebody asked in the chat about why aren't they doing anything in California? I'll tell you why they're not doing anything in California. They made it a misdemeanor. So now these thugs, we are at the point, and as a prepping channel, we've talked about this for 3 years. People before us talked about it for 20 years. We are at a world without the rule of law. We are at the WROL. We're there. There is no rule of law. It's a free for all. Be happy that you're an American and that you can go commit crime and that nobody does anything about it, because it's a misdemeanor in many states now, as they want to still defund police departments all over the country. Now we're going to take a little gander at the wonderful, wonderful crime report tonight. It is on fire. Oh, we are on fire. Hold on a minute. I shouldn't say that because the United States is on fire. As you see here, it seems like there is a lot of the skulls across the country. Every time you see that, that is, folks, we have a Texas family, sad and true, dead in apparent murder-suicide weeks after him losing his job. Folks, we have to realize what's going on here. We have to realize that there's no going back to the good old USA. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This coming fall and winter, I think we're going to see things that we have never imagined, right? We are going to see things that will probably startle us a little bit and make us feel like, what country are we truly living in? And as we see these things unfold, we have to realize that the crime in this country is completely off the charts. And many, oh yeah, and they're firing them when they do interfere. It is, zombie. It's a sad state that this country's in. It really truly is. I mean, I totally agree with you. And it's going to happen. Yep, Josh, more and more and more. But let's take a look, because I always have somebody in this chat. Well, my state's not in trouble. We're hunky dory here in the United States. If you notice around the country, maybe right now, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, there's a few states that are not on the chart, but we have one person dead. We have LAPD Newton officers at the 6300 block of South Main are en route to a taco truck robbery. The suspect is armed with a pellet gun. Are you serious? 2 killed. I mean, look at this. The DPT is investigating another incident here. A person has died after they were hit. We have a armed person injured in Ames shooting in Ames, Iowa. Up here in the north, we have in Minneapolis, several males in black hoodies were breaking into vehicles at the hospital parking ramp. We should be proud of that. Go Go, USA. Go. Down in Texas, we got a lot of things going on. The police chief has, there is a suspect that was shot and killed by the police while he was on the main lanes of I-10. We go up here a little bit further north. We have a Texas family dead in apparent murder suicide weeks after the daughter drowned. Down here in Florida, a woman was found dead after a house fire. Going on up into South Carolina, a man killed. That was a collision, though. Here's an armed robbery. Oh, we have a stabbing up here, Queens. We go up here into northern New York. The roads are blocked up. There appears to be a victim out in front of the Destiny Mart store. Ay, ay, ay. Fires. This is the country that we're living in. What's that, Lisa? What state? If you have a question for me directly, please put it in all capitals. Please put it in all capitals. Yeah, it is a sad day. I know that I had an opportunity to go to St. Louis and work, and me and Dragonflies talked about it and talked about it, and so I was looking at the crime rate, and I was like, I don't think that I will go to St. Louis. And that's a dang shame when you have to feel like you have to be armed, pepper sprayed, something to protect yourself just to walk the streets of America. We are living in a place that is starting to be very foreign to me. I don't recognize this country anymore. I don't recognize the beautiful country that we had. And, people can say what they want. They can say that, oh, it's okay, Lisa, no problem. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye and I wanted to address you if you had a question. Um, I just see this different America on the horizon. And I want to say, folks, that, I'm not a doom and gloomer. I never have been. I've always tried to be real with you. I've tried to keep our channel really balanced with good over the bad. But news related, we are in a major crisis here in the United States. We have everything from hyperinflation to, I think, honestly, the Trojan horse is truly here. And I think that the Trojan horse is within our borders. And I think that if you don't have a local mag, if you don't, and for new people on the channel, I had some people asking me, a mag is a mutual assistance group. We are your online mag. The OTWP mag is wonderful. I couldn't ask for better people that really truly care about each other. But I'll tell you what, folks, if you don't have a local mag, please search one out before it's too late. We have some really funny things, Leah, as you bring up Walmart. There's some funny things going on at Walmart right now. And maybe some of you from around the country can key in on this as well. How many of you have all of a sudden noticed they're blocking off different parts of Walmart doing some construction very quickly? They're rapidly doing this construction sites. From what I got from an insider at Walmart, is they're expanding the pickup delivery. They're expanding the delivery and they are locking stuff up left and right because of theft. And are we going to be able to go shopping in those stores pretty soon? Is that going to be possible? We have so many questions. Good to see you, uniquely written. I think that as things escalate more and more, the stores are closing down. I mean, we have CVS's, Walmart's, we have some of the major fast food restaurants here in the United States closing down. And it's going to be like the wild, wild west. And I'll tell you what, everybody better be prepared and ready to bunker down. Um, Lowe's is all self checkout. What state? What state are you in, Sparkle? Ohio? Am I right? Ohio? No, I refuse. I will not do that in any way, shape, or form. Folks, people can say that we're conspiracy nuts or whatever, but like the hand scanning thing, yeah, let's scan everything. Let's not have monetary or any kind of physical money. And then what's going to happen? And yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Zombie, in so many ways. We have got to shop local. And this is the other thing. Um, Shopping local, right? See, hold on a minute, Patty. Hold your question. Gosh darn. Shopping local, farmers markets, local fish markets, local people on Facebook. Be cautious, be careful, but get out there, go to the thrift stores, go to the local mom and pop shop, go to the local grocery stores that are only owned in your state or your county or your city. Because even if the prices are higher, if we don't support them, they will be gone. I think if we go into another COVID lockdown, if they force a COVID lockdown on us, folks, I think that these businesses will not be able to recover. Think about this, folks. How many of us seen businesses close in our towns? Hit a one in the chat if you've seen local mom and pop shops, local restaurants, local movie theaters, whatever it may be, closed and never open their doors again because of COVID, because of the COVID pandemic. And I'll tell you what, um, here in the state of Missouri, in the little town we live close to, Willow Springs, we had four thrift stores that were and one antique store that me and Dragonflies used to sell in. We had two booths there. And within a very short amount of time, they were closed, down, gone. Even the thrift stores could not make it through the pandemic. Many, many businesses could not pay their rent, could not pay their insurance. I think that, yeah, I think I agree. And see, so many, it wasn't that people didn't want to shop. It wasn't that people didn't want to go out. It was that they were like my person that cuts my hair, the lady that cuts my hair. She told me I didn't put my open sign on, but everybody knew I was open. That's the only way that she made it through. Even churches closed here in the state of Missouri because they wouldn't allow people to go to church. But then the churches said, no, we're not going with this flow. And they started having church service right out in the parking lots. And I say, thank you, God, for that. You can't shut us all down. And we cannot comply. We cannot comply again. If anybody complies, and if the majority of the people comply, we're going to lose these businesses. And the only thing that'll be left is corporate America, the big box stores. That is fact. And I really do. I do too. I do. And the new COVID strain, I just do want to mention this. This came from the CDC, YouTube. The new um, thing with the new COVID strain is that one of the symptoms is night sweats. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep a straight face. It's night sweats. Now, the other thing that bothers me too is the lighting that they're outlawing, that they're stopping to produce certain types of light bulbs that have been around since the dawn of time. Why? I'll tell you what, we're getting forced into a corner, Cherie. We truly are getting forced into a corner because I think that many stores will become like Amazon, Walmart. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, folks. When the pandemic happened, when it first started in 2019, we were in Amarillo, Texas, and we plan on staying there about 6 months to a year. And the thing is, I told Dragonflies I'm going to get a Big Mac. Now, many of you have heard this story, but I was like, I am going to get a Big Mac. Well, maybe, possibly, Dreaded Seeker. I don't. Okay, sure. Possibly, possibly. I got Willow here wanting to say hello. Anyway, the thing is that I loved Big Macs at the time. Yes, I was chomping up on the Soylent Green, and they never closed McDonald's. They never closed Walmart. Those businesses were essential, but small mom and pop shops were not essential. You weren't essential. You weren't needed. You weren't needed. Stay home. And then we had the purging of nurses, doctors, police officers, military. Think about the purge that we had. It was huge. And think about how many good people we lost, right? Thanks, uniquely written. Thanks. You would have been laughing if you would have been here the other day when I took a Dremel to my teeth. You would have really been laughing, uniquely written. Anyway, um, folks, it has been the bamboozle forever. I think the thing that happened in 2019 is that so many people really like woke up and they are like, it's not the best USA that we've lived in. And it is. It's like the Venus flytrap, and we're going to be pushed into a corner. And I think that everybody needs to realize they're rolling out. It's climate. It's climate. It's COVID. It's climate. It's COVID. And we have to realize that hashtag resist, no matter what. And I mean, I'll say this honestly. I've been prepping a long time. Dragonflies has been prepping a long time. Dragonflies was brought up in an extreme situation. My family, my granddad he was a rancher. My other granddad and my grandma, they had big, huge gardens. So it was just in our blood. I never looked at it as prepping. We were just self-reliant. And we traded vegetables with people. My granddad traded cattle with people for meat and for, even for a truck. Thank you, uniquely written. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, hun. I'll laugh again for you in a minute here. But, the thing that we have to realize really is that we got really complacent and we got really ran over and steamrolled by all this bullshit. And the thing that it's going to take is for each and every one of us to dig deep, to dig really deep, not to just say we're going to do it. And I know many of you in the chat, I'm like, when you all send me emails and pictures of what you're doing, and you tell me that, OTWP, this channel has made me get off my ass and do something. I hope that each and every one of you keeps doing the dang thing and that you don't give up ever, ever, no matter what, if we're together or we're apart. And always remember in the back of your mind, our song, our main song is Going with the Flow. And when I brought that song to this channel, it meant a lot to me because sometimes we're going to have to go with the flow to overcome the obstacles. It may be people, it may be the government, it might be the police, hell, it may be the IRS coming with guns to us. And we have to not ever give up or give in. We have to rise to the occasion. And it's going to take a lot of us, a lot of strength to actually do that. I know many of you in the chat have been facing difficulty with family members that think you're absolutely just obnoxious that you want to prep. But it's not just for the apocalyptic meltdown which is occurring around us. It's for the weather conditions like what happened in Florida with the hurricane, the tornadoes in South Carolina, the fires. See, I had to get on point about the fires. We live in the middle of almost 400 acres of nothing but forest. And if a fire happened, we would have to get out of Dodge quickly. But you'd have to have a plan to get out of Dodge quickly. You can't just say, well, I'll do it. One, how are you going to get from your car down the road to safety? You have to plan these things. When the water is no good, what do you do then? George, I wanted to address you about that. George, you have to get some kind of rain catch. You have to get something that can protect you, brother. Something. I know that you're on a fixed income, George, and we love you and we care about you, man. And I want you to, get you some 5-gallon buckets. Go to the grocery store, ask them if they can give you one. Cry, whine about it, whatever, George. Kick your feet, lay down on the floor and make a scene. I don't care. Get you a couple 5-gallon buckets. Take the 5-gallon bucket, set the on top of one another. Drill holes in the bottom or punch it out with a screwdriver, okay, George? Fill up the nasty water on the top, put some sand, put some moss, put some leaves to filter it through. Get some rocks. I know Arizona has rocks. George, you got to do something, man. You got to do something. And then, you've got to have water. It doesn't matter. Do something, George. Anything is better than nothing. Cactuses, plant cactuses, the big ones with the apples, the big ones with the fat, juicy leaves around your property. Start planting them. Go dig them out and replant them over by you and break those leaves open and collect that water. You've got to have water, brother. You can only go so long without water. Water is life. And I am concerned about you, George. And I know it is hotter than shit in Arizona. But you got to figure out a way, folks. You can't, you know, I don't want to see you, George, without water. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you should buy some cases, some gallons. You can go to Wally World. They're not my favorite place, but go to Wally World. They're like $1 a gallon. I know that, you do something, okay, George? And if you need help or an idea or anything I can do, I'll look up some cactuses that you could get for the conditions in Arizona. Remember, folks, all the unusual places you can get water. That's important. Start scoping out those places. What neighbor has a swimming pool? Where's the closest lake, pond, or river? Who has a horse trough? Do you have your own horse trough? Do you have a rain catch? Figure those things out, folks, because water is life. And without water, you will perish in a very, very short amount of time. I can't stress water enough. I have my own concerns, George, with water. Living out here and not having a well, even though a well could get contaminated, I have my own concerns. We've expanded our rain catch. We're expanding it again. Take your liter bottles, your gallon bottles, even your milk jugs. Now, your milk jugs, I will say this: I people say clean them out. I will not use a milk jug and drink out of it, drinking water. But we save our liter bottles, our soda liter bottles. We save our water bottles. We have planters. I have 5-gallon buckets, 55-gallon tubs. I will use anything. I flip if it starts to rain, so that we don't get mosquitoes in the water. I flip over the buckets, and I will catch every drop of water I can catch, and then I will transport it by hand into the 55-gallon barrels or our 1,500-gallon cistern or the other IBCs. So it's really important, and I hope for a poor man. Yeah, yeah, anybody can do it, Rick, and you're right. Prepping on the cheap was my first series on this channel. Well, on Off the Wall Prepper. It was my first series, taking things around you and turning them into a prep. It's not all about buying the gear. If you can afford to buy the gear, great, but not everybody can. And you can still use your milk jugs, as Dragonflies just said. You can use it for dishwater, as your black water, right? There's a difference between your black water, gray water, and your drinking water. Even the city water anymore is contaminated beyond belief. So that's something that you want to pay attention to. You know, Way to go, uniquely written. That's what I'm talking about. Anything you can do. Okay. If you need some ideas, yell at me, George. Yeah, and well, Lenora, we have water everywhere. We have water under the bed, behind the couch, behind the love seat. What's up, Mama Freddie? What's going on, Mama Freddie? We have water everywhere, and that's like really important, folks. Like, out of all the preps in the world, I would say that water is should be at the top of all of our lists. Because, excuse me? Oh yeah, and we've used it and we've needed it. We've, we have needed it because the rain catch, it didn't rain, whatever. My big concern is what if things go to shit on us, right? On all of us. And we can't just call the fire truck and say, bring us a load of water. We have got to have water. Now, I do know this about our cistern is the bottom 300 gallons we can't touch, but I can touch it if I absolutely have to because I have a belch pump, a manual belch pump, and I can pump that water up and put it into 5-gallon buckets. Keep thinking about water. The other thing too is if you can't afford a Berkey or a Alexa Pure, what you can do is I did the video on filtration. Make your own filter. It's simple. We have the neighbors over in the forest, Jay and Bella and little Joe, and they live out in the tents. They live outside, and they have made their own water system. And they've done that by bottles with just like I showed y'all. And it's not that hard. Layers upon layers, sand, rocks, moss, leaves, whatever it may be, right? Yeah, you got to, Cherie, because it's nasty. It's nasty. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Rick. And even with your food, keep it in a cool, dark place. The food that you're canning, the food that you're preserving, do the exact same thing. Also, the other way is, this month, you all know, tomorrow starts Preparedness Month, and every September I try to do 30 demos in 30 days, and I haven't even got my first 2 done. I got to get to work because I'm challenging myself again to show y'all 30 days of 30 demos. And so I have some new really cool ones, and I'm bringing back who wants to see the fireball again? Who wants to see me hold the fireball in my hands? Hit a 1 if you want to see the fireball again on the new channel. Hit a 1. Who wants to see me hold the fireball? Yeah. Outside. I did it inside. It was careful. I did it carefully inside. She's a wildflower. Dragonfly is saying I have to do the fireball outside this year, so I guess I'll do I'll do it at the fire table that I built. So hit a 1 if you want to see the fireball. Oh, Bernie said, yeah, I want to see it again. I would appreciate if any of you can become members to become a member. We got the Poe Folks membership going on. It's $2.99 a month. We really, really appreciate it. T Log said, yes, the fireball. Do y'all remember the fireball? That's so fun. Like, don't try it at home, folks. You got to be a stunt. You got to be able to do stunts. And, I still would like to go with Dr. Danger and light myself on fire. I really want to light myself on fire. I feel that with 2024 coming in, if I went with Dr. Danger and lit myself on fire, he's a professional. I hear a no back here. How many in the chat? Okay, there's 40 of you. Everybody vote a 1 if you want to see me go with Dr. Danger and get lit on fire, literally. Hit a 1. Hit a 1. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Who's going to do it? Everybody. Who wants to see OTWP get lit on fire, baby? Come on now. Come on, y'all. Uniquely written said yes. Cherie saying yes. She's a wildflower. Stop it. Hit a 1. Change that around. Everyone hit a 1. Okay, no problem, George. Hit a 1. Patty, come on now. I'm going to be with a professional. He is a professional stunt man. Yeah, Candy Do That Watson said yes. Welcome to the chat, John. Yes. Carol's saying no. Some people are saying with my luck I'd be in the hospital. Sparkle On saying yes twice. Thank you, Sparkle On. Let's light it up. Light it up. Let's light it up. I think I should get lit on fire. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be the best thing since applesauce. Okay, y'all. I love you. I care about you. Remember, there's a big difference between watchers and doers. Which one are you? Are you a watcher or are you a doer? Huh? Tell me about it.
If you are anything like me, then right about now start. But watchers don't do, and doers don't watch. So let's get to it. Let's get it done. You step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. 'Cause we're doers, and doers don't watch. If I'm anything like you, and I expect as much, we're both more than ready to go from look to touch, and that's the start. 'Cause watchers don't do, and doers don't watch. Let's get to it. Let's get it done. You, let's step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. Don't do, and doers don't watch. Watchers don't do, so let's step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. And doers don't watch. Watchers don't do, and doers don't watch. So let's get to it. Let's get it done. You, let's step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. And doers don't watch. Watchers don't do, so let's step it up a notch. We can do it. We can get it done. 'Cause we're doers. Yes, we're doers. 'Cause we're doers, and doers don't watch.
Wouldn't you like to be a doer too? Get her done, preppers. Get her done. All right, one last song, folks. And then I got to get off here. I got things to do. I got work to do. I got to get water. I got to get food. I'm hungry. Are y'all hungry? Who wants to come to dinner tonight? Come on. Y'all want to come over? Let's go. Anybody want to come to dinner? Okay, so I think that it was voted on that I should light myself on fire with Dr. Danger. It was. Everybody in the chat was like, yes, 1111. Even Bernie Soley said one, and she's a wildflower said like triple ones. She really wanted me to light myself on fire. Don't leave. Don't leave. Did you just call me a hoe? Don't leave. HOTWP. Why would you call me bad names? That's not very nice. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make. I think I'm cooking. I think I'm gonna make salmon patties. Yes, I'm hungry. I'm making salmon patties. Salmon patties. Make sure y'all rise up before you can't. Make sure you stay focused on the good things. Don't give up and don't give in no matter what, y'all. We cannot comply. We can't. I want to say from our little cabin to wherever you're at in this big happy world, God bless you. I hope I get the audio things worked out because I really like the other platform way, way better than StreamYard. But are we out of time? I don't think so. But what we are is we are for the good. This is the last song, last call for coffee or alcohol. Anyway, y'all keep on doing it for the good. Decide what side you're on. And I know that all of you in the chat are for the good. Keep praying it up. Keep thanking God each and every day, and that we can all be together, because someday we may wake up and not have this opportunity. God bless you all. Till I see you again, my friends. Tomorrow night, Friday night, the frogs are about to come out. God bless.
Working it out, working it out in all things, all things, in all things. You working it out for the good of those you called according to your purpose, for the good. Those you called according to your plan. Well, you are working for the good. Yeah, you are working for the good. In all things, in all things, in all things. You're working it out, working it out in all things, all things, in all things. You're working it out for the good of those you called according to your purpose, for the good. We will trust in you. We will trust, we will see you move. We will trust in you. Oh, we will trust, we will see you move. Those you called according to your purpose, for the good of those you called according to your plan, and for the good.